lab mice. At first, I didn't understand why they called us so. And then I know why, because we are the first group of people who fortunately or maybe unfortunately went to school after local education reform. The government made a new policy to see if it works better on us than the old one. That was the first time I heard of lab mice without knowing what it is. After receiving education, I know that a lab mice is used for scientific research in genetics, medicine, cosmetics, and other fields in science. Not only mice, but also many other animals are used for medical researches. As a human, I'm glad that so many useful medicines are invented to cure diseases due to the success of animal testing. However, when I found how cool animal testing is, I believe this sort of testing should be banned. There are three main reasons I think that animal testing should be banned. First, animal testing is inhuman and unethical. And second, the result of animal testing is unreliable. It will mislead the research and induce risks and ignore potential medical treatment. And third, animal testing is a waste of time, resources, and lives. Human and animals have a lot of differences. Nowadays, human disease comes mostly from their unhealthy lifestyles. However, animals do not live like a human. They are innocent and they shouldn't be the victim of human civilizations. In order to create diseases on animals, they are forced to receive treatment to become sick and harm. In John Pape's book, Animal Research in Medicine Science, published in 2009, examples include inducing symptoms of migraines in cats and primates through brain stimulation and manipulation with chemicals, implanting electrodes into the intestine of dogs to induce motion sickness and vomiting, implanting electrodes into brains and eyes of monkeys and cats to conduct neurological and vision experiments, and dropping weights onto rodents to produce spinal cord injuries and paralysis. Let's watch a video to see how cruel and inhuman these testings are when they are done on animals. We can see how painful and torturous these animals are when researchers try to create different diseases on them. Suppose those experiments work successfully on animals, it doesn't mean it will have the same result on humans. Mike Levitt, a secretary from Health and Human Services, said, currently 9 out of 10 experimental drugs fail in clinical studies because we cannot accurately predict how they will behave in people based on laboratory and animal studies. Probably the best known example is the thalidomide used in 1950s as a sedative prescribed and to treat morning sickness in pregnant women. The thalidomide was safe when tested in animals, but when used by mothers, it caused an estimated 10,000 birth deaths and thousands of fetal deaths worldwide. We can see from the picture that those treatments are defective. In the same way, some medicine that do not work on animals, it might work on humans. Therefore, animal testing will ignore potential cures and treatments. For instance, animal testing showed that penicillin was ineffective at treating infected rabbits, but later it proved safe and effective for treating bacterial infection in most humans. Although animal testing is unreliable and misleading, people still use large amounts of animal in medical experiments. Every year, there are more than 100 million animals are used in animal testing. Here are some staggering statistics that we are familiar. These animals are used in medical treatment. Like mice are the most common laboratory-used animal. About within 12 seconds, a mice will be killed in animal testing. And some pet animals like cats and dogs, they are disappearing in a fast rate as well. By the time I finish my sentence, there will be a mouse be killed in animal testing. From what I mentioned above, it's not hard to see that animals testing is still inaccurate and inefficient. It's a waste of time, lives, and resources. Actually, there has already had an alternative way to replace animal testing, which is called in vitro testing. This method is an in vitro testing is a method of performing tests outside of a living body in an artificial environment. Compared with animal testing, this method is more reliable, accurate, cost-effective, and ethical than using animals to conduct medical experiments. There is a saying in Chinese, which I think can explain why we should stop animal testing. You cannot build your happiness on someone else's unhappinesses. We should never sacrifice animals' lives to continue our medicine development.